Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast, the Four Nerds by Nerd show. Today we're going to talk about Moon Knight.
All right, so spoiler free, Cian, what you give it?
This is a little tricky. I gave it a 6.5.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Gave it a
Joe?
6.5.
I'm going to go with an 8.5.
All right, I will go with an 8. No, a 7.5. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
It makes sense that there would be 3 different ratings for the show.
It does. It does make perfect sense.
Especially if you read some of the reviews, it's about that.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't like to take other people's reviews into account like it's mine. Like we all experience things in a different way and take different things out from. That's why I think it makes perfect sense that all three of us took something different from it and viewed it in a separate way. So.
All right, so now we're in spoiler territory. So if you haven't watched the show, go watch it.
No, you can't! I won't do it! I won't do it! You can't make me! You can't make me!
If you don't plan on watching it, I don't know why you're watching this video. I appreciate the view. If you want to hit that like, that would also be great. And if you want to drop a comment saying, hey, I didn't watch the show, also appreciate it. We'll roll into it. All right, so I want to start off with the biggest thing that I think was amazing, and that is Oscar Isaac is such a good actor.
He is. He's great.
I agree.
I think even though our scores were all over the place, all three of us can say he acted the shit out of that role.
Oh yeah. No, every actor did a great, like it was really well acted, and Oscar Isaacs was amazing. He was the crowning jewel of that.
He played 2 characters, 3 really, 4. Oh no, just 2 characters really. Which was, I mean, you're talking about he not just voice, but his demeanor changed. Obviously his voice changed.
The way he walked, the inflections,
little mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
he
was
did great.
It was very well done. I was like,
it was enough that you could tell when a different personality was driving.
Yeah.
Because of his slight mannerisms or behavior.
Yeah. He didn't even have to talk.
Yeah, it wasn't even just the accent. It was just the way he reacted, which was great. All right, so now I'm curious. Cian, why did you not like it as much as what the two of us appeared to?
Me personally, I don't feel that the story drove the character. Like it a lot of it, like mainly I would say like the first 2.5, like the half of the third episode, but mainly like 2.5 episodes. It was a little
disjointed.
Yeah.
That one, it's not your strongest.
Oh yeah?
It's a bit complicated. It took me to the 4th verse to understand those different timelines.
Oh, did it? Wow.
And that magic kiss, that was a bit cheap.
Yeah?
Dissociative, if you would say.
Yes, I understand that's part of his character.
my thing, so when I started watching the show, I actually didn't like it because of that, because storytelling in and of itself needs to drive a narrative, but the more you got into it, the more you realized that the character was who was driving the story, because the story was so dissociative, and someone who has dissociative identity disorder, it came through in the story itself. It was done in this play, so it was all interwoven. So I knew, that's why I stuck with it, because I knew what was happening and I knew why they were doing it. So I knew that by the end it would all make sense, because it would had to have come together to make a solid something, and it absolutely did. By episode 5, I think, was my favorite, because that was when you really started to see what was happening and why, and how we got why that journey was so important to get to this place. But I do think that it was a brilliant way to tell the story, but because it's so disjointed and because it was so different from anything else that Marvel has done, well, with the exception of WandaVision actually had the same type of thing, where in the beginning it didn't make as much sense because they were putting out the exposition so that when you got to a certain point it meant something more. I feel like Moon Knight did the exact same thing, using the dissociation of his thoughts with the story in tandem. So honestly, it requires effort on the watcher's part to make it through that difference, but I think it was worth it in the end. Getting there, I thought it was great.
Very well said. I agree. That's very well said. Very well said.
Also, I think that some of the playfulness in the disassociation is due to the director not knowing exactly what Disney's hardline stance was going to be on depictions of violence or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that it was kind of a cool, fun way to like circumvent it a little. Like, oh, yeah, we did have ultra violence, but we didn't really show the ultra violence, so we should be good. Also, all right, so I guess we're just gonna.
Well, now that they have the mature though, they can show that because you know now Daredevil and all that when they change the. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, but now let's all face the hard truth, which is we cannot wait to see Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight interact with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Somebody, dude, yeah.
You know what? As much
fourth wall and somebody who's crazy.
No, as much as I would 100% watch that. I don't care if it's just a cameo of Deadpool. I don't care. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like that's
It might not because we don't know if Moon Knight. So they haven't confirmed Moon Knight season 2. Not at all. There's been no confirmation that's continuing. We don't know if or when he's going to appear in any of the other movies. However, go ahead.
The rumor is that he'll be back in October because there is a Werewolf by Night show coming that hasn't been officially announced, and all of the QR codes that are hidden in Moon Knight lead to the first issue that introduces Moon Knight, which is
there are QR codes hidden in Moon Knight.
Yeah. Each episode has a QR code hidden for a comic book.
Ooh, that's
so you can
sneaky,
scan the QR code and go see it. But the first Moon Knight appearance was Werewolf by Night, and Werewolf by Night is rumored to be the Hulk character for the Midnight Suns, which is the team that Blade is putting together, which will consist of Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, Blade, the Black Knight, and then if they followed the comics, you would technically have Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, and Deadpool.
Like I said, I posted it on our Facebook group as well as our Instagram. But Oscar Isaac did confirm that not that it's been canceled, but there's been no plans for it. Mm-hmm. So like that could mean 8 million things.
But with Moon Knight, everybody's pretty sure that they're going to put him in other stuff, which is why they can say that there's not a Moon Knight season 2, but he'll be a character involved in the other stuff. Kind of like there might not ever be a Luke Cage season 3 or an Iron Fist season 3, but Heroes for Hire might be coming, and then you have those two characters obviously together.
So I'm curious if they'll use the same actors.
No,
unfortunately, the actor can't think of his name who played Luke Cage. He legit does not want to.
I want him on more. He was so amazing. He was perfect.
He doesn't want to do it.
Oh, but I loved him.
And Cottonmouth is Blade.
Yeah, the actor who played Cottonmouth is Blade. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even gonna try.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that.
And I did want to say this. I thought so. The director of Moon Knight had a problem with the way that Wonder Woman 84 portrayed Egypt. And didn't the Scarlet Scarab Layla just strike you as this is totally a shot across the bow of DC's Wonder Woman? You've got a winged female character whose wings make sense and she can kick ass and she identifies herself as a superhero and she's not out there just fighting, nobody.
I like how she identified herself as a superhero right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like,
no question.
No,
I loved her. She was a great character. I think it was really when it all came together, when you could see the whole picture, it was really well done. It was really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, and the introduction of the Egyptian pantheon as well as the connections to Black Panther. I mean, they were firing on all their cylinders. And the idea that there are multiple afterlives, which, builds into the idea of Ghost Rider and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I mean, Marvel just always cooking. They've always got something cooking.
Yeah, the Marvel has a really good hand as far as basically laying the seeds, very subtly, but laying the seeds, and then like as things are happening elsewhere, they're growing, and then they catch up, and it's like, oh wait, I remember that from the show or
That's
from the
good
movie.
storytelling.
That's
That's
really
how
good
you do you leave threads just hanging, dangling, so you can hook them and take it to a whole new place. That is good. That's what Marvel has going for it, is they have the right people laying the right story arcs with the right threads, just so that it can all be woven together.
And then we're still talking about actors here, but Ethan Hawke also did a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
He did.
Really good job.
Like knocked it out. And there was something that I caught in my second viewing of Moon Knight that I did not catch the first time. When Khonshu offers Mark the deal, he phrases it as,
Your mind, I feel it, fractured, broken, most fascinating. You are a worthy candidate to serve me during this time.
and our understanding, as Khonshu said it, was, you're essentially my avatar until the end, until your job is done. I think Arthur got snapped. And when he went away, Khonshu needed a new form, a time of chaos, which would be the blip,
Right.
and Mark was there. So then Arthur gets back, and he's no longer the avatar of Khonshu. And Khonshu says that he's not needed anymore, essentially gives him his pink slip. And that sets him on his path of destruction towards Ammit, who's also a goddess of justice.
Yeah, so
Possible.
I want to really, really quick, I want to bring note to something. In that 6th episode, where he finally meets her for the first time in person, he had the look of a potential fear, because I think he realized what he has been doing can be perceived as evil.
Well,
And he was already ready to die in service of her.
I know he was ready to die. It was his he was an instrument that he was using, that he was okay with being perceived as potentially evil, because that's what makes true evil, is because you think you're doing right. You think that this is the right, true, good path. But even if what you're doing is perceived as evil. So no, he was willing to sacrifice everything to get this outcome.
And I thought that was funny. Her exact words were,
"Your death is delayed."
Yeah.
That's what she said. So
well, she controls it. So like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was manipulation. Yeah.
But,
I mean, she manipulated him the whole time anyway.
Yeah, and the last time when she had a servant who was perfectly balanced, he betrayed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she needed somebody who's a little not balanced.
On the other end.
Because,
because she's also,
judging, she's not
evil.
judged. Yeah. She's judging, she's not the judge.
Correct.
So my question for you guys, as well as the audience at home, is, A, do you think Alexander the Great is Kang the Conqueror? Because we know Kang did have a stint as an Egyptian pharaoh. And it just kind of fits his motif. Like, if you go back and look at that sarcophagi.
But Alexander the Great was not a pharaoh.
He was a conqueror, and that's what they were talking about.
You just said pharaoh, so I just want to get your.
He identified himself as a pharaoh.
Okay.
And that's what Stephen says.
I think we're looking at the long lost tomb of Alexander the Great.
Because that's the tomb. He was the avatar.
Which is interesting. That is really interesting.
So yeah, so I guess if it's Kang, I mean, that changes kind of everything. And then
I don't think it was Kang, but that's just.
And your second point?
I'm trying to remember what it was now.
Easily forgot. Well, while he's thinking about it, guys, let us know in the comments below what your opinion about Moon Knight is, and where do you think it's going to go with the storyline? Do you think they're done with this, with the standalone show? Do you think they're going to do a second season? Do you think that he's going to appear in a different movie or series?
Did you not like how they told the story? Did you have to wait until the end to really understand what was happening? Did you get the disassociation bits?
I got it. My timeline variance ended. I understand what I was going to say now.
Excellent. What was it?
Do you think that Marvel is stacking the deck with gods just so they can give Christian Bale people to kill?
Why Christian Bale?
Because he's the god killer in Thor: Love and Thunder, which is coming.
Ugh. I didn't know that Christian Bale was in Thor: Love and Thunder. Gross.
I think I did hear something about that, but
I hate him. He's such a dick.
We'll see.
I
He's a
cannot
great actor,
respect
though.
him. I don't fucking
actor.
care. He's a fucking asshole, and I hate him. I do not have any respect for him as a human being. No, if you treat people like bullshit, no, I have no respect
Paige,
for you.
He's playing an alien, so.
Well, he's playing an evil person, right? A bad guy?
Yeah, he's gonna be the bad guy.
Yes,
Okay, good. Okay, good. That'll fuel my hatred. I will let my hate flow through me. It's fine.
There you go. All right. Well, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a great one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.